When you look at any really successful company, one that can truly scale, there's this invisible engine running things. It's not usually the flashy founder or even the brilliant idea. It's something way more fundamental. We're talking about standard operating procedures, or SOPs.
But before we dive in, let me ask you something. Does your business feel, well, trapped? Do you feel like you're the only one who can get things done right? Are you just constantly putting out fires, always stuck working in the business instead of on it? If any of that is hitting a little too close to home, then you're in the right place.
Because here's the honest truth. Success that lasts, success you can scale, it almost never happens by accident. It's not about luck, and it's not just about working harder. It's built. It's designed on purpose. And that design, that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
So let's start with the big problem, what you might call the founder's trap. This is what happens when your business is completely dependent on specific people. And yeah, a lot of the time, that's you, the founder. And you might think you're in control, but really, you've built yourself a cage.
And what's wild is how familiar these symptoms probably sound. Do you find your team making the same mistakes over and over again? Is the experience your customers have kind of like a lottery, totally depending on who they talk to that day? Or how about that gut punch feeling when a key person quits? It's like a chunk of your company's brain just walked right out the door. The worst part? As you try to grow, it just gets messier. And look, the stakes here could not be higher. A staggering 80% of small business failures, they don't fail because the idea was bad. They fail because of operational breakdowns, the exact kind of chaos we're talking about. So this isn't some minor headache. For a lot of businesses, this is literally the whole ballgame. Okay, so if being dependent on people is the trap, how do you get out? What's the escape plan? Well, it's all about building a business that depends on systems. This is where SOPs become your secret weapon. They're like the invisible infrastructure that turns all that chaos into something predictable, scalable, and, well, excellent.
So, what are we really talking about here? To put it simply, SOPs are the official playbook for your business. They're just clear, step-by-step guides for all the routine stuff. The whole point is to make sure that pretty much anyone can do a task and get the exact same high-quality result every single time. It's all about getting rid of the guesswork. And I love this quote because it just nails it. SOPs aren't some boring binder of documents that sits on a shelf collecting dust. No way. They are the actual backbone of your company. They give you the structure you need so that everything else, all that good stuff like consistency, quality, and real growth, can be built on a rock-solid foundation. And this is where we get to the real playbook for scaling your business. Making that shift. Moving from relying on specific people to relying on solid systems, that is the single most important leap a business can make if it wants to grow up. Let's really look at what that change feels like. Okay, so on the one hand, without SOPs, quality is basically a lottery, right? It just depends on who showed up that day and if they're having a good day. But with SOPs, quality is baked right into the system itself. Just think about McDonald's for a second. A Big Mac tastes the same in Tokyo as it does in Texas. That's not magic, folks. It's an ironclad system in action. All right, next up, where does all the important know-how in your company actually live? In a people-dependent business, it's all locked up inside the heads of your best employees. And when they leave, poof, it's gone forever. But in a system-dependent business, that critical knowledge is written down, it's captured, and it's owned by the company. It stays no matter who comes or goes. And this, right here, this is the main event. This is the transformation we're talking about. You're moving your company from being this fragile thing that depends on a few heroes, and you're turning it into a fortress, a tough, resilient enterprise that can handle people leaving, markets changing, and all the pressures that come with growth. Now look, this isn't just some nice idea or a theory. The data actually backs this up. Businesses with really well-defined SOPs can scale 2 to 3 times faster than businesses without them. And you have to ask, why is that? Well, it's simple. They're not stuck reinventing the wheel every single day. They have a proven, repeatable plan for getting things done right. And this isn't just academic. The real world is full of massive wins and, well, catastrophic fails based on this very idea. Let's check out a few powerful examples. I mean, look at this. The contrast is it's black and white. On one side, you have Toyota. Their entire reputation is built on this legendary culture of SOPs, and the result is world-class quality. Or Amazon. The only reason they can operate at such a mind-blowing scale is because their logistics are driven by hardcore processes.
And then you have the other side. Investigations into the Boeing 737 MAX disasters showed that critical safety SOPs were just ignored. And remember early Uber? Their grow-at-all-costs mindset without strong internal systems led to a massive storm of cultural and legal disasters. The proof is right there.
Okay, so what does all of this actually mean for you? It means you have to change your job description. You have to stop being the star player, the one who has to be on the field for the team to have any chance of winning. Instead, you need to become the architect, the one who designs the stadium, who writes the playbook, so the team can win even when you're not there. So how do you actually do it? Well, here's a simple path to get you there. First, you just start documenting your core processes. How do you actually make a sale? How do you onboard a new client? Then, you turn that knowledge into a system and you empower your team to own it. The payoff is immediate. You'll see errors drop, often by 30 to 50%. But the real prize here? It's freedom. You build a valuable business, an asset that can actually run without you having to be there every second of the day.
So I want to leave you with one final thought. The question isn't if you should build systems, it's when and where are you going to start. Don't get overwhelmed trying to document your entire business overnight. That's a recipe for failure. Just ask yourself this one simple, powerful question. What's the first system you will build?